All right. All right, what is up going on, everybody? Let me get my thing over here. How's everybody doing? We got everybody in here today with this recruiting live chat edition of the Eyes on Texas channel. I know I didn't give y'all guys very much notification, but I never really do. I got my OG Blue here with me. Got the old monster here. We're going to get it going here for us, guys. And those of you there, just like Grace Faith, horns up to you. Just go ahead and make any comment, and I'll go ahead and say hello to y'all guys and say horns up to you. Here in the Eyes on Texas channel. Those of you who don't know, my name is AK, and I do try to produce college football content for you every single day of the week. I like to produce content about college football, Texas high school football, and of course, you see the backdrop, you see the hat. This is a live stream about college football, the Texas Longhorns football recruiting. So obviously, I'm very big on them. So welcome everybody here to the live stream as I foresee many commitments here for the Texas Longhorns coming down the pike. I see many commitments for us. I do in fact see it, and I will tell you the reason why I do see that coming for us here in just a few moments as we get everything started. Just want to say hello. What's up, Mike Schmidt? How you doing, sir? The Speedy German, if I don't know if you're still in here, but I appreciate you being in here. Who else is in here? Ooh, let's see where I can look at the list. Participants. All right, well, there is 8 of us now. All right, well, let's get over there. All right, well, first of all, just let everybody know we are on commitment watch without a doubt. And I'm talking about an Arlington Martin linebacker, 6'1", right around 200 pounds. Of course, I'm talking about Travell Johnson. He went on social media saying that he was going to commit on Saturday, and meaning today, and then kind of sort of backed out of it. But I did read in an article today on 247 Sports that he is going to head and he is going to commit today at 5. We are crystal balled to Travell Johnson, so I'm very excited about that. I will let you know what I think about this prospect and let you know about him here in just 1 second. Again, it is 5 o'clock. We are on commitment watch, without a doubt, for Travell Johnson. And he is going to be a speedy inside linebacker from Arlington Martin. And I guess I'll just go ahead and let you know everything that I do know about him. He is right around six foot tall. He is right around 200 pounds. He is probably the most athletic inside linebacker in this 2022 class. And, of course, everybody knows we do, in fact, play in the Big 12. So you're going to go ahead and need that sideline-to-sideline linebacker. You need that young man to play in space. You're going to need him to cover some in space, some tight ends, some hook to curl routes, some intermediate routes. Of course, you don't want to get that guy downfield, as if you are committing any kind of sort of 7 personnel person to the defensive backfield. You are going to get burned more than likely. But Travell Johnson is set to commit today at 5 p.m. Very excited about that, as he did play along with Maurice Blackwell this past season. It was excellent. Yes, baby. And of course, it wouldn't be an Eyes on Texas live stream if.
Water?
Yeah.
Milk?
Yeah. And go see mommy.
I just want milk.
Oh, okay. Ashley. Oh. 2022. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Travell Johnson is a 2022 linebacker from Arlington Martin. Just to let everybody know. Yes, and horns up to you, Derek McDade. And if this is your first time here, I do try to produce college football content every single day. If you would like to just give me a thumbs up, I'd very much appreciate that. I have heard, I saw some sort of screenshot talking about Quinn Ewers to Texas today is the only thing that I did hear. It was something about some gentleman who said that he works with his dad, and he is 100% sure that Quinn Ewers will commit to Texas this weekend because of Malik Murphy is going to commit. That is yeah. Is that what you saw as well? That's all I've seen. That's just a screenshot from someone's phone. I mean, Scott, horns up to you, Scott. You can go ahead and you can take that up as you can take that information as you want. You know what I mean? That that's information that's just going to be on Facebook. You know what I mean? Just kind of all everything that's been going on. But yeah, I'll definitely get into that. Malik is most definitely forcing his hand. As I'll just go ahead and get into that right now. Is the main reason I feel that we are going to have many commitments coming up here in the next couple of days is because of the February 15th, 17th. This is going to be just off an article on 247 Sports. Reports surfaced earlier today that Division I Football Oversight Committee recommended to the NCAA to extend the recruiting dead period through May 31st. The Division I Council will decide the recommendation on February 17th for this meeting. Right. So what does this mean? So we're all on a dead period. As we know, no recruit can take an official visit to a campus, right? Official visit. No recruit can be there by the coaching staff, any member of the personnel, into the any training facilities, any stadiums, the locker room, weight room, i.e., et cetera, along those lines. You have heard me report and others report, and you probably read yourself somewhere about recruits taking visits during this time. Those are going to be self-guided visits. Which they just know someone or that does go to that university, and that just gets a little small tour of the campus, or they go with their father, family member of some sort like that, and they just go ahead and get it on and do their visit just like that. But that is just how it's been reacting. But what does that really mean? So if February 17th, they do extend the dead period through May 31st. What does that exactly mean, right? What does that mean to Texas, and what does that mean to every other college and university out there that's voting for these big time, prime time commits from these athletes, right? So what that means is they're going to push their times up. They're going to come to the realization that they're not going to take their visits. That it is going to be pushed back, and it has going to be continued to be pushed back. Because as far as I know, there hasn't been any official visits to any university campus since I've done this show, since I've been starting the Eyes on Texas channel. So that's going to be pretty much really a year, as far as I know, that there hasn't been any official visits. Of course, we all know the reason why there hasn't been any official visits, and that's going to be because of the COVID. Since the COVID, they put a dead period on recruiting, which no official visits can take place. That pretty much will stagnate and absolutely forces the hand of a centralized, a little more local, i.e. that's why these Zoom calls, which become so very popular in business and with recruiting. So that is what that means with the dead period. And I'm gonna let you know about the guys who I believe that does push up. I do believe that is going to push up a date for Malik Murphy, the 5-star quarterback out of California, the 6'5" giant class of 2022, man, who is mainly just going to be a camp guy, a 7-on-7 guy. He only has thrown 61 passes on a varsity film that I do believe that I saw. So I do like I do said, his intangibles, his credentials are going to be there for on the 7-on-7 scene and on the high-ranking camp scenes, which he is judged and against all the other top quarterbacks who are there against throwing to all the top receivers who have all the top defensive backs kind of sort of guarding them. So it's the best way without playing 11-on-11 real football to judge the talents of these young men. So the 17th of February coming up is going to be a big day, but like that report did say, it is looking to be pushed back. So that is obviously not a good thing for these recruits, as they absolutely want to take these visits. You know, they're young guys. They want to go out. They want to take their visits. They want to be young. They want to be wined and dined. They want to seek out their opportunities. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you? I most definitely would. If I was a young kid, even if I was hardcore lean to University of Texas, I'd want to go check out some campuses on some different states. I think I'm definitely going to want to see Oregon. Going to check out, see what's over there. Might check out UCLA, some nice West Coast teams just for fun. If I was a primetime prospect and I was very much recruited. But yeah, that's the info on Murphy. As far as him coming to Texas, he is going on one of those self-guided tours that I did just speak about. That is the reason why I believe his date might be pushed up as well. He is set to go up there this weekend. Actually, he is actually going to with his 7-on-7 quarterback coach, as he is on the same 7-on-7 team as Armani Winfield, the Texas commit from Louisville, Texas. As the picture of them, you saw them in their gear as they're both in their 7-on-7 gear, and Armani is standing right next to Malik, and of course Armani, the commit, is throwing the horns up. So he is going into Texas. Might possibly be on campus for one of those unofficial self-guided tours. We'll see how that goes. But with the factor of him being on campus, making the trip down here with his quarterbacks coach from this 7-on-7 team to want to get familiarized with some of these Texas receivers that play in the 7-on-7 circuit, bodes well for the University of Texas. Also, what bodes well is going to be that time frame with the 17th of February, possibly moving the date back, which might in extending the dead period, thus making the recruits want to commit just a little bit earlier. But how's everybody doing, man? It's cold outside. I know it's 22 degrees whenever I got home at 4 o'clock this morning. It is scheduled to be about 4 or 5 degrees here just here a few couple of days from now. So here in the great state of Texas, we don't do very well with the weather. So everybody just horns up, man. Y'all stay warm and stay high and tight just for that. But let's continue on. And some of those recruits that I think that Texas could possibly land coming up this weekend, in addition to not this weekend, but coming up kind of sort of soon. So going to start at the wide receiver position, and I'm going to go ahead and start with these two guys. Let's go ahead and start with one. My wide receiver one, my prospect one in the 2022 class, Evan Stewart from Frisco Liberty. He is 6 foot, 175 pounds. He is the best XY. He is the best Z in the country, without a doubt, as he plays that lone position out there as a wide receiver. He is absolutely speedy, electric, can stop on a dime. He is my #1 overall recruit in the wide position. He is the 40th ranked nationally and ranked #5 overall by 247 Sports. But like what I see on film, the way I like him in this Sark offense, he is going to be my #1 get, as he combines the speed, the route running, the explosive, the electric ability, playmaking ability that I believe that Sark has the intangibles to bring out the best in the more complete package. There are other athletes that flash it. There's definitely going to be Brennan Thompson that has the speed. There's going to be Kevin Coleman and CJ Williams that are going to match him just a little bit maybe with that athleticism, but they're going to lack a little bit more in that speed. So I believe that Evan Stewart is going to be the complete package of what I'm looking for and what I believe what Sark is looking for in his offense. So the wide receiver from Frisco Liberty, Evan Stewart, without a doubt, is going to be a big-time domino. As he hinted just 3 weeks ago that his recruitment was done, he Twittered it out there that he's shutting it down, that his recruitment's done. Then he went on. He's a TikTok star. He's a TikToker. He has over 1 million followers on TikTok. So that he therefore went on TikTok, made a TikTok video, and I saw a screenshot of the TikTok video, and it was him dressed up in a UT gear. So he was making a pro UT TikTok video. So all signs leading up to the dead period were leading up to Evan Stewart being the University of Texas commit. And with the dead period be extended, Evan has expressed the wants to end his commitment and end his recruitment to go ahead and commit a little bit earlier rather than later if the dead period is extended. So Evan Stewart, without a doubt, is going to be the wide receiver domino that I see falling first. Falling close behind him, going to be that California connection that Coach Sark does bring to the table. CJ Williams. CJ Williams is going to be a 5-star wide receiver. I view him as a 5-star wide receiver coming out of modern-day high school out of California. Going to be the same high school that Coach Sark does have connections to. I believe his son actually does go to that high school as well, as he's on that campus as well. But CJ Williams, as he recently posted on Instagram or over social media as well, as he showed up a picture of his shirt off, toasted up, showing up the horns up sign on the social. So what I think is going to come down to it is I think these guys in the 22 class, these top guys, they're going to start grabbing their spots. I believe we're going to take 4, possibly 5 wide receivers in this class. Of course, we do already have Armani Winfield committed in the 2022 class. So these top-ranking guys in the wide receiver, these skill positions, they need to go ahead and take their spot, in my personal opinion. So CJ Williams is going to be another domino to fall, by my personal opinion, with this dead period. And it could be coming up this weekend. It could be coming up here in the next couple of days, weeks. Not quite sure about that, but it is definitely something that I do see falling. I have seen people just kind of sort of tweet out there that Brennan Thompson might be close to shutting it down as well. Not quite sure about that. I'm unsure, not as sure about Brennan Thompson as I am about the other two, to be quite honest with you, talking about the wide receivers. But now let's talk about safeties recruitment, switching from the wide receivers position to skill position, talking about safeties as we are in pretty deep here in a couple. LSU Fighting Bungles did have a couple of decommitments recently from the safety position. And one of those safeties is going to be Bryce Anderson. I don't really have much of an eval for you, to be honest with you, is for his most of his film. His junior film is going to be of him playing quarterback for his Westbrook High School team down there in Beaumont. But with that being said, I'm just going to read just a little bit of his scouting report by Gabe Brooks. I'm just going to cheat a little bit here just because of majority of the film that I did see on him was him playing quarterback, so it is a bit hard for me to get a good judge for him as a prospect. But Gabe Brooks says he's a risque frame, high to major DB prospect, looks and plays taller and longer than listed size. He does list that he's a dynamic athlete with verified track speed. That's something you're definitely going to want someone playing at the back end of your defense. He ran a sub 11-100. It was 10.92 in the 100, and he doubled that up in the 200 as he ran it at 22.03 seconds. So he does show good speed. Thanks to his athleticism, instincts, and awareness, he is capable in man coverage, but also terrific covering in territory and as a deep safety. So that's most definitely what we're going to want for him. Is he is agile and fluid in his hips in the short area with great top end speed. He will need to continue to gain size to maximize his functional strength and tackling ability. So as a prospect, as far as size, he is going to be right around 6 foot tall, 5'11", 187, 190 pounds. But the majority of his film that I did see on him was him playing quarterback. So I did kind of sort of cheat and just kind of sort of check out his profile here. But the other one is going to be Landon Hullaby. Of course, if you know anything about that name, if it does sound a little bit familiar, his brother Jaden played his first year for the University of Texas Longhorns as a linebacker here on the 40 Force as well. So we do have that connection with Jaden. So possibly Jaden's staying with the Texas Longhorns and having a relationship with Coach Sark, this new coaching staff, this new defensive back staff. Hopefully we'll have a new good read for his younger brother here, so he has a good read and good influence, and hopefully has heard positive things about the university and about the program and what has been going on since the new staff has, in fact, taken over. So we're getting the wide receiver positions. We are definitely getting the safeties as we're getting on down the line, as I did say. So you definitely need the defensive backs, the skill positions. But what does this really say that we're really missing? I haven't seen us really getting close to any commitments from the offensive line. To be honest with you, as I have stated this over and over again several times here in the past, here in a couple of videos as well, here on a couple of live streams, here is that we haven't had any commitments on the University of Texas as far as in the 22 class, nor are we really close to any of the landing commitments from them as well. We are making communications with them. Coach Kyle Flood is on it without a doubt. He is on a lot of these top guys, these top offensive line guys here in this class of 22. Of course, if you don't know who I'm talking about, whenever I'm talking about the offensive line position in the class of 2022, the guys that we've really been reaching out to most, Kelvin Banks. He plays in Humble, Texas, is going to be a big-time major prospect as an offensive tackle. Of course, you know about DJ Campbell. I've made many videos about him. He's been a 5-star prospect, been a lean for the University of Texas ever since I've started this program, so that's going to be over a year. He has made a communication with Coach Kyle Flood since the new staff has came into effect. He is going to be a guard. Campbell is just an absolute monster, an absolute get. So if we miss on these 22 guys, like we miss on these 21 guys, we will feel the effect. I think with Kerstetter coming back, I think with the freshmen doing a good job, Majors and the other one. I have a hard time pronouncing his name off the top of my head. That was also from South Lake Carroll as well. They both stepped in and did a good job filling in as a freshman this year, playing well late in the season. But we cannot afford to miss in the class of 2022 like we did in the class of 21. Because let's just be honest, it was a whiff with our highest rated offensive lineman in a very deep class and a very deep Texas in-state class. We whiffed and did not get a 4-star offensive lineman. That is absolutely just unrealistic to me. Excuse me. Another offensive lineman that we need to get in communication with. Talked about him. Barry from Humboldt, Texas. He's going to be 6'4", monster. Another 4. Haven't. Another one that we need to stay in touch with as well. I talked about Campbell. He is going to be my #1 overall get as far as offensive line in this class. Cole Hudson, another monster recruit, just over the 300 threshold at 325, but no matter at all as we need him to commit and be a Longhorn. I guess the only if we're talking about rumblings and we're talking about someone getting close to making a real headway and this is just because it's going to be a new offer on the offensive lineman. That's going to be Connor Robertson from Westlake, from that championship team, along with Cade Klubnik on the offensive line. So Connor Robertson is probably the only one that we are actually getting any kind of sort of close to an actual commitment from, and making any kind of sort of headwaves, in my personal opinion. So we got 23 of y'all in here. I very much appreciate everyone in here. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, why have you not? I try to produce college football content, high school football content, and of course you see the hat and you see the background. You know the Texas Longhorns are my team. So subscribe to the channel, share amongst your friends, and please give me some thumbs up, as currently we do have 21 of y'all folks up in here and I only have 3 thumbs up. So I'm going to go ahead and say horns up to everybody who have not yet. Derek McBride, horns up to you, sir. Steve Booth, horns up to you, sir. I hope everyone is having a fantastic afternoon on this cold day here in Tejas. Yes, Scott Stevens. Travell Johnson is committing today. And, of course, if you missed my quick little eval about Travell Johnson, as in my personal opinion, is he might be the most athletic inside linebacker in the 2022 class, as he is a University of Texas lean, and he is scheduled to commit today. He did initially say that he was going to put back his recruitment, put back his commitment, but he did say that he is going to go ahead and commit today at 5 p.m. The crystal balls are on the Texas Longhorns, so hopefully that he will commit to the Texas Longhorns. So if any of y'all have any questions for me, I would love to answer those, as that's what I'm here to do, is a live stream, a live chat, whatever recruiting questions, whatever questions at all I could really answer for you guys. I would absolutely love to. So please. So Steve Booth, what's your question, man? I know you like to talk in these live streams. What's your question? Scott Stevens, what you got on it, man? I do agree with you about Travell Johnson. He is committing today. Very excited about that. Okay, Denver Harris from North Shore. I think he's going to be one of those guys that we're going to have to play in during the season to get a commitment. I don't see him as one of these guys that's going to pop soon and make his commitment. I could be wrong, without a doubt. As far as Denver Harris as a prospect, I absolutely love him. He is a highly ranked defensive back from Galen North Shore down there in the Houston area. What is also important for getting him is I don't want to say it as a package deal, but being from the Houston area, he is linked up being very highly influential area, and I believe he is also a very influential person. Might have a lot of pull, might have a lot of hold, and might also get lots of people to look at Texas and start looking at us as a program. Harold Perkins, as far as I know, he's pretty hardcore Aggie. He's gone as far as crucial, but almost negatively recruiting Texas as far as posts that I've seen on social media. So I don't really see Harry Perkins really being a candidate for us as of right now. If he will be down the line, he is definitely going to be one that we're going to have to prove it on the field. Much more communication with this program as he is with his staff as he is going to need to prove it on the field in my estimation. But Harold Perkins as a prospect, man, he is an absolute monster and he's an absolute beast down there from the Houston area as well as he's a 5-star coming up in this class. But absolutely love him as a prospect. I wish he was more serious to Texas and not A&M. As Aggie is absolutely killing it down there, as they got another. They have the first class of 23 recruit down there. I believe Argyle, strong side defensive end. So they have the Aggies have the first commitment from the class of 2023 from in-state kid. Grace Face says, "Yeah, I think we need to have a successful season in order to flip him." You're talking about I was Arbor, the defensive end, defensive end from Duncanville. As a prospect, he might be the most prospect in this class in the state, and that's going to be including Quinn Ears. As a prospect, he is an absolute monster on the defensive line. Whenever the Panthers play on defense, he is the one who stands out the most, without a doubt. High motor, high explosiveness. He is what you want from a defensive end position. He is going to be an Oklahoma lean right now, as far as the information that I do know on him. Whenever he does, whenever all the 5 stars are all settled down for the class of 2022, he is definitely going to be ranked among them. But the class of 22 is just absolutely littered with defensive ends, as I believe the number 1, 2, and 3 players in that class are all going to be the same one are going to be all strong side defensive end. But Arbor, as a prospect, I absolutely love him. I wish we could make a little more headway with him. I haven't heard much rumblings that he is leaning or trending towards the University of Texas. We are in his top grouping at this moment, however, but I don't believe that we are in the upper echelon of his top grouping, if that makes kind of sort of. But great question. Very much appreciate that. Caleb Burton. I've spoken about Caleb Burton. That was a question about Steve Booth. He is not going to be in my list on my board of Texas wide receivers because I can't make that symbol. He put the thumbs down symbol, posted on a social media. Whenever Sark did come over as the new head coach and the new regime did take over on the new coaching staff. So he did that symbol. So as far as Caleb Burton as a prospect for the University of Texas in the class of 2022, he's not really going to be on my list. Yeah. The new coaches will have to get to know the coaches and the Texas high school coaches. And one of the things that Coach Sark did do is on his first week on head coach is he did have a meeting with the Texas High School Football Coaches Commission, and he sat down with them. They had some sort of meeting, some sort of dinner, some sort of event. Don't know exactly what was entitled, exactly what it was called, but he did have a get down, sit to know you with the Texas high school football coaches, because that's a big deal. Because if you're trying to recruit these Texas high school football kids, if you're trying to recruit these young men, you need to have a good segue. You need to have a good median. You need to have a good in man being in that locker room, and that's going to be the high school football coach. Because he's the one that sees him day in, day out. He's going to be the one that can tell you the good information about that guy. If he's a good character, good quality kid, but he's also going to be a good in for the prospect to, as far as information and be able to recruit. That's the whole point. But as far as him going to that coaches meeting and having the meeting with the Texas high school football coaches, I believe that was an absolutely great decision. Appreciate that. But again, if this is your first time here, if you subscribe to the channels, I do live streams, I do highlight videos, I do monologues, and I do like to do other stuff, interactive stuff as well. So holla at you, boy. My name is AK. If you're not yet subscribed, I'd appreciate that, and thumbs up the videos that do kind of sort of help out with the algorithm on the YouTube as well. But keep the questions coming. I appreciate that very much. But let's see what Steve has to say. Sounds crazy, but I think we have the talent to win. Yeah, I think we're gonna have the talent to win 10 games. OU is gonna be tough. They're recruiting like crazy. Spencer Rattler is gonna have another year under their belt. Their running backs are gonna be a little bit better. Their defensive scheme is going to have another year to come into the fold to get that down. All the while, we're going to be a new coaching staff. All the while, we're going to be having a new offense, a new defense. We have a few new coaches, obviously, with Drayton and Coleman, but the vast majority of the staff being new, I do believe that that we will have our issues with communication early and maybe getting things down earlier. But because I'm gonna be honest with you, I did like the direction that we were going with Ash. I have heard nothing but great things about Coach PK. Obviously, to him as a defensive coordinator, coming from the West Coast over there from the University of Washington. Only heard good things about him. Things that I have heard about him that are a bit different that I do like. One of the things is going to be how he plays his rush ends, how he plays defensive ends. He will put them both hands in the dirt. Also from a more standing up and more crouched down athletic position like that point stance, but you're actually no hands in the dirt. And what that does is add a little bit more of the wrinkle, a little more element of depth to your defense, something that offense does have to pay a little more attention to. So I do like that aspect as well. I do love the versatility of his defensive backs. I like that as well. If you look at his roster at a Washington, I believe they're not really labeled in positions. They're all just labeled defensive backs. They're not labeled cornerback. They're not labeled safety, strong safety. They're just labeled defensive backs, I do believe. So as far as him as a coaching staff and as a defensive coordinator, I'm very excited about him. But if you're looking for number of victories, Oklahoma's going to be tough. Iowa State is going to be tough. Might trip over an inferior opponent. But at the end of the day, it is hard for me to root against the Longhorns. So I'm going to go ahead and just off the top of my head, just for the sake of this video right now, just 10-2. I like us at 10-2, possibly 9-3. But I do like the fact that we do have a good incumbent roster. Coach Sark has said that. Another good point to him. He didn't come in and embark on and embrace on his incumbent roster. He congratulated him. He said, complimented him, said good things, positive things about the roster. So, think about Blake Gideon. It will be a strong recruit. As far as I've heard about him and almost the rainmakers. That's what I love about this coaching staff from a recruiting standpoint. But besides Milwee and a few others, they're all time recruiters. The defensive line, Coach Bo, he's going to be a strong-time recruiter. The defensive coordinator doesn't really have to be a strong-time recruiting position, as you want him more focusing on coordinating your defense. But Banks is going to be the rainmaker. Banks is going to be the big-time recruiter. That's that you hear the most buzz about Banks. Two things that I do like about Banks the most. Special teams and recruiting. First, let's talk about special teams with Banks. Is since the past 8-7 years, he has been pretty much well regarded as the best college football special teams coach in all of college football, period. That is something that we definitely need to shore up here on the 40 is that we had the Aussie style punter blocked against the Texas on the OU game. Just this past year, as we do know that, we did have Dicker had a couple of key misses, but overall had an average year, subpar year compared to his sophomore season last year. But Dicker, from a kicker standpoint, I'd say was like a C+, let's say. But one thing you can definitely one thing that you can definitely see expanding, see being a positive and a strength of this coaching staff in this program is most definitely going to be the special teams. And as a recruiter, he's known as a rainmaker. Yeah. But let's see what else we got. Blake definitely has with the Texas high school coaches with his dad. Blake definitely has in with one of the Texas high school coaches with his dad being one. Yes, we do need to have a good year to ward off OU and A&M. But I believe OU, they're going to have a transcending year. They're going to have a positive year. I don't see a downfall in them by any means. A&M, as far as a win-loss concern is, they're obviously not going to start out the Big 12 like they did this last season, as they were absolutely putrid starting out the Big 12 schedule, talking about OU. But I do not foresee Texas A&M having the breakthrough this past year. So with Texas and Texas A&M on the field play recruiting, let's say coming up this fall, I believe that Texas will become ahead in that regard. So the player that views this that is basing his recruitment and is basing his commitment on this season, if it's a tight race between Texas and Texas A&M, that's if you get what I'm trying to say. I believe based on the field production this year, it's going to be Texas with the stronger look, just like that. So I believe that we can ward off A&M, but not OU, to kind of sort of answer that question for you, Steve Booth. H7, horns up to you, sir. Don't know if I've seen you in here before. If you guys are new, please subscribe to the channels. I do try to produce college football content pretty much every day of the week. If 5 times a week, I do like to do live streams. As well as monologue videos and highlights for you as well. I like to do all those kind of sort of things. My content is obviously going to be Texas Longhorns, Texas high school football, and college football in general. Best non-QB in state. Your eyes. I'm going to say DJ Campbell. I'm going to say DJ Campbell, and I'm going to base that on the fact that his raw athleticism is just unmatched. His sophomore film, when I made his video comparing him to a wrecking ball, DJ Campbell is a wrecking ball, something like that. I made the video. If you watch that film, watch that video that I did make on him, that highlight video making on him. He literally is ragdolling absolutely every single defender, absolutely everyone. He's literally just paving the way, and everyone's following him. But it's not his strength; his actual speed. I would love to see. I'd love to see some 40 times on him. I like to see some 100 times on him. Whenever I played high school football, whenever I was in high school, we always when it close to the end of the year, we always had the big man relays where we got the offensive and defensive linemen in there. And they would get in the relays. I would love to see him in the big man relays. Is what I'm trying to say. DJ Campbell. So best non-in-state prospect from the O-line, offensive lineman, DJ Devon Campbell. Guard 5-star. I believe he's the number 6 overall prospect. 247 Sports. Of course, that is going to be the composite site that I do use, and he has been a Texas lean for quite some time. So you very much do need to land him, as I did state earlier in the program. Excuse me, that offensive line we cannot whiff this year. We whiffed last year with our highest rated offensive lineman being Hayden Connor as a 3-star. We need these 4- and 5-star offensive linemen, and we need 6 of them. Yes. So the best offensive line prospect in the state, DJ Campbell. Do you think we messed up on JV now that he's going to Alabama? It's not a fact of just messing up. It's what the incoming staff wants, as far as messing up, letting Coach Eli go. To answer that question, I mean, right? If it is no, whenever you come to him and you have a sit down meeting with Coach Jay, and it is no disrespect. It is you want your guy. And I just think it was that move. I just think it was that kind of sort of deal with him. Now, the fact that him going to Alabama and us kind of sort of swapping coaches is a little bit strange. But him as a man, him as a person, I love Coach Travell. I liked him whenever he was here. I think they had a little bit of communication issues from Coach Ash to him as far as what they wanted from their cornerbacks as far as when to actually and when not to. I believe that was the biggest issue. But those thumbs up, I do have 9 thumbs up here. If I can get those up as well, I very much appreciate that. It does help with the algorithm, but is it just it's just a product of the time seeing Coach Travell go. Grace Faith, things will settle down as I think the Aggies are facing a year, and OU will be damn hard to dethrone, but I think the coaching mind will find a way. Yeah, that's pretty much what I just said. You know, I think OU will sustain their level of wins. Hopefully, they won't go for their 7th consecutive Big 12 title as they claimed their 6th in a row this past year whenever they defeated the Iowa State Cyclones for the Big 12 title, as we were not a contender in it, as we did not make it. Anyways, new QB 4 a.m. What does that mean? What do you mean by that 8-7? Not quite sure what you mean by that, but please keep the questions coming. Whatever y'all have to say, whatever questions I do have the capabilities of answering, I will, of course, do so to the best of my abilities. But, okay, so we do have new folks arriving here. As people come in and out of these chat rooms all the time, I'm just going to do a brief recap of some of the things that we have talked about thus far. Travell Johnson, the inside linebacker from Arlington Martin, he is going to be set to commit today. He is going to be set to commit at 5 p.m. He is viewed as the most athletic linebacker in the state. Inside linebacker, that is, in my personal opinion. If you watch him play, he runs all over the field with reckless abandon, makes good breaks on the ball. He makes good instincts. He is ranked lower than his play on the field and his production on the field, as he did lead Arlington Martin's high school football team in tackles this past year as a junior, which is very impressive. But the reason why he's not more higher rated is going to be his size. You know, he's not one of these 6'3", 225 pounders. He is going to be the 6'1", right around 200 pounds. So he does need to bolster up that frame a little bit. But when you see him play on the field, you see his passion. It shows in the field. And Travell Johnson is set to commit today at 5 p.m. He is crystal balled to the Texas Longhorns, so that's an absolute good thing for us. So hopefully he will commit to the good here at 5 p.m. I did talk about earlier, the next couple of days is going to be big-time decision-making for college football, as the minds that be are set to make a decision whether or not to extend or end the college recruiting dead period, the visiting dead period. The meeting is going to be on the 17th of February, so just here in a couple of days. As of right now, the dead period is set to end on the 15th of April. I think that's tax day, on the 15th of April. But if it doesn't and it extends, it is supposed to extend through May 31st. So whenever it does extend through May 31st, I believe we're going to have a domino of a commitment to the University of Texas. So and those University of Texas commitments probably could be led by 5-star quarterback Malik Murphy. Malik Murphy is going to be more of a camp guy. He's going to be more of a 7-on-7 quarterback, not much varsity time as far as on the film, actually throwing the football with actual pads on, as he's more of a camp guy. But on these camp guys, you are playing against the best of the best. You are playing against top-rated wide receivers who have top-rated defensive backs covering them. So whether you don't have any defensive linemen rushing on you and chasing you, you do have the clock on you. I'm not quite sure, but it is a very controlled environment, the 7-on-7 tournaments. If anybody has any questions for me right now, I continue to answer questions as I continue to go on, just letting everybody know what we did talk about earlier. One of those domino effect players that could be coming down the pipe for the University of Texas, that could be a part of this domino, and my number 1 wide receiver overall in this class of 2022. He did hint earlier, Mr. TikTok star, I'm talking about Evan Stewart, the wide receiver from Frisco, Texas. Just let everybody know that he plays for. He's gonna be 6 foot tall, 175 pounds. Whenever you think of him, he's an absolutely electric player. Talking about Evan Stewart, as he plays his ball for Frisco Liberty up there. He did hint on social media that he is shutting it down, and he there hence reclaimed, took back that statement and said that he was going to wait it out. But if the dead period is to be extended, he said that he would looking to commit sooner rather than later. So he was a heavy lean, and he did make a TikTok video, which he was going to be in the University of Texas gear. So Evan Stewart is looking to be one of those dominoes on the wide receivers skill positions, because these guys in this class of 22, as I've stated a couple of times, it is going to come to a point where you need to get your spots. It is time that you I think we're going to take 4 or 5 wide receivers at the most in this class of 22, and we're going to be taking the primetime candidates in this class. It's not going to be a year in which the cycle, as far as wide receivers, which we have to jump on a lot of developmental prospects, a lot of guys that might have some tools but need to put it all together. That might have all the speed but need to stop rounding off their routes. Or they might have eyes, but their hands and hips might be a bit tight. Projects. It's not going to be the case with the wide receivers in the skill position, as they're polished, a little more clean in and out of their breaks. But another domino effect possibly, and could be committing soon to the Texas Longhorns, as he did throw up the horns up on social media talking about CJ Williams, the very highly rated 4-star recruit. He is rated 39 nationally overall, and is the 4th ranked position wide receiver. He is coming from Mater Dei, California, as he is going to be part of the West Coast connection that Coach Sark does have, as he does go to the same high school that Coach Sark's son does, I do believe, out there in Mater Dei. So we do have the connections with the West Coast California kid. He has made strong tweets. He did throw up the hook 'em horn symbol. He has been in constant communications with the Texas Longhorns recruiting staff. I've read many articles about positive things about him. Most definitely CJ Williams. So it's definitely going to be time for these top candidates to commit and grab their spots in the skill positions, without a doubt. So Murphy's set to come down for a self-guided tour, a self-guided visit this weekend. Hopefully that does come into play. Hopefully he does have a positive influence here, as he is coming down to Texas with his 7-on-7 coach to check out the wide receiver scene here and get some working with them, because many of his receivers on that team are going to be from this area. One that I do know most definitely is going to be Armani Winfield, as him and Armani Winfield, they put up Armani Winfield put up the Texas hook 'em horns sign and took a picture with the big time 5-star quarterback. Talking about Murphy. So with him coming to on that self-guided tour with the other wide receivers, I see them as my top 3 guys that could probably commit soon, outside of Johnson, who is already set to commit today at 5. Let's see if we have any other questions before I move on. Bear Alexander, I believe he did commit to the University of Georgia on that Denton Ryan team. So that's him. What I do know about Bear is he's going to be one of these guys. He was not a fan of the overall recruiting process, so he shut it down, and he shut it down with Georgia. I do know that they weren't the favorite leaning in. He did, I believe, he went to a self-guided tour, so they shut it down on him whenever he went on that visit. But horns up to you, Speedy German, and horns up again to you, Steve Booth. We do need Evan Stewart, man. As I do say, he is the TikTok star, is my #1 get from the wide receiver position. I think he just fits so beautifully in Sark's offense in that Z position with his skill sets, with the fact that he is a speed, he's a burner. I think that he can slow play a lot of people with that speed in his receivers breaking in and out of his routes. I think he's very smart on the football field, as well as marketing himself, as he does have over 1 million subscribers on TikTok. So he's making the fat stack, making bank in high school already off of those TikTok ads and commercials and wearing all that stuff, because I know that you do get money off that as well. But Evan Stewart, without a doubt, is going to be a big-time get in this class. One wide receiver that I would love to get in this class that I haven't spoke about yet, who is just pure unadulterated speed, and that's going to be Brennan Thompson from Spearman. He is listed as an athlete prospect, but I do see him as a 100% wide receiver prospect. Fastest kid in the nation, as far as I know. Definitely the fastest kid in the state. Monster. He plays in a Spearman, which is going to be 2A ball. What I love about him is sometimes these offensive players, whenever they get in the defensive mesh point, whenever the defenders get close to him, they might tighten up, they might tense up, they might freeze up with the ball. He explodes right through it. And not only does he explode right through it, he does it at his size. So he is fearless. He has the 100% unadulterated speed, and he is fearless. 100% love Brennan Thompson. Stewart, Thompson, Winfield, Coleman, and CJ would be an A+ group. Steve, man, it sounds like you've been watching my channel, brother, because I agree with you. But we're going to do a little Eyes on Texas recap. Of course, you don't know who I am. I am AK. I am the owner, operator, moderator of this channel. If you do like this kind of sort of program, I am heavily involved in recruiting. I like to do monologue videos. I like to do live streams as well. I also like to do highlights. So if anything like that interests you, go ahead and subscribe and share it amongst your friends. I also like to talk about high school football and college football in general. Yes, sir. Devell Wilson, Travell Johnson, he is committing today, the inside linebacker from Arlington Martin. We've been talking about that all morning so far. I love this prospect. He's someone that I'm going to see rise in the rankings just a little bit. And don't quite see him being a 4-star, as I think the height and weight factor is going to be an issue for him, to be quite honest with you, as he is just over 6 foot and he is right at 200 pounds. Those inside backers, you want to be over 200 pounds, even though he does play in the Big 12. Just for example, Terrence Cooks that we got out of Pearland, who signed on the dotted line for the Texas Longhorns for us. He is an inside backer, and he is going to be the more 6'3", 215 pounds. So he's going to be a 4-star. He has that range, the ability to play sideline to sideline. That's why he's going to have that ranking. But Travell Johnson is definitely going to be someone that Texas is looking for. A very good get for us on the defensive side of the ball, as his ability translates very well to the Big 12. But as I've been saying over and over again, as well as many of the Texas Longhorn fans have been saying over and over again, is we need to start talking about these offensive linemen. I wish I had more offensive linemen information for you guys, as far as prospects that we're getting close to, as far as guys that are getting close to making a commitment. And stuff like that, but it's just not there yet. Coach Flood has been sending out the offers, East Coast, West Coast, in-state kids. So Coach Flood has been sending out the offers to this class of 22 guys, trying to bulk up this 22 class, literally with some offensive line talent. All right. Grace Face, I'm looking at Devon Campbell from Arlington Billion. He's got a good frame and nasty disposition. Looks to be high on Texas. Would be a great get in Dallas here. Yep. I spoke about Campbell earlier. Maybe that's why you checked him out. He is going to be my top prospect in the offensive line in the class of 2022. He's been a lean for the University of Texas ever since I started doing this channel, which is going to be right at a year. So would absolutely him. It would be a big time miss, a big time whiff for Texas to miss out on top tier in-state talent in consecutive years. Because the fact that we missed out on the legacy twins, talking about James and Tommy Brockermeyer, then picking up and packing up and going to Alabama, missing out on other top guys, Ruben Feathery, Bryce Foster, both going to A&M, getting no 4-star offensive linemen in the class of 21. This 2022, we need to hit and not miss on the offensive line. So Travell is the player that Texas wants. The Speedy German says, I 100% agree with you. Like I said, his style of ball does translate to the Big 12 style of play. It does translate to where the overall style of play in college football in general is going. So he is what Texas wants. I agree with you, sir. Yep. So it sounds like everyone is consensual on wanting Campbell and both wanting Travell as a player on the 40. Chase Biddle, he is wavering, man. He is one of the safeties. He is wavering. I think he's wavering to Texas A&M. But we are looking strong at the safety position. I mean, I guess I can talk about them right now because that's really where I was going to allude to next. Was going to be the safety position. A couple of the guys that we're looking at right now from the safeties. One of them is going to be a recent decommit from the LSU Bungles. I'm talking about Bryce Anderson. He's going to be the highly ranked 4-star safety. Most of his junior film is going to be him playing quarterback. So I'm just going to really just rely on the Texas staff on their eval for him. Talking about Bryce Anderson, the recent decommit from LSU. Looks like the other LSU guy that decommitted, the other safety, Brian Allen Jr., I believe his name is, from Aledo, that decommit. Texas did offer him as well, but it's not looking like we have making as much ground as we are making with Bryce Anderson from the safety position. But like I did say, most of his junior film was him playing the quarterback position. But talking about safeties, we are making headway with the safety position in Landon Hullaby. He is going to be a brother of Jaden Hullaby, who played his first year on the 40 for the Texas Longhorns. Did see a little bit of playing time. So obviously, since that we're getting close with Landon Hullaby as a recruit, so obviously his older brother Jaden has been in his ear about the new staff, the new regime, and obviously has some positive feedback. Otherwise, his brother wouldn't be looking at a university so strongly at this point. But like I did say earlier about the offensive line and the offensive line recruits, we don't have anybody that's close right now. Coach Banks has been offering, excuse me, not Banks, Coach Kyle Flood has been offering the West Coast and the East Coast, and has been offering in in-state kids as well. I guess we can start talking about those offensive linemen that we do need to get in the class of 2022. We talked about Campbell, without a doubt, as he's a major primetime target. But the offensive tackle, we did recently offer the #1 rated guy. Talk about Zach Rice. He's going to be Liberty Christian Academy in Lynchburg, Virginia. Haven't heard much headway on him, but he is going to be an offer. He is going to be in constant communication with Coach Kyle Flood. Kelvin Banks is going to be probably one of the top guys that Texas would very need to hit on. He is going to be the offensive tackle prospect, 6'5", right around 300 pounds, and he's coming from us from Humble, Texas. Offensive lineman, but I would love to come with you reports about these guys, saying that we're making headways. Would absolutely love to come to you guys with positive feedback. Cam Dewberry from Humble, from Alta Costa. I'm going to bash the name of that school. Apologize. as I'm not really known for my phonetics here on this channel, as I'm very much phonetically challenged. I'm surprised that's my first stumble of the day, and I've been talking for about an hour, so that's pretty darn good for me. But another prospect that I would love to see come down the 40 acres. If we can get 3 to 4 of these prime time guys, I would very much love that. As I did speak about DJ Campbell as my #1 get on the offensive line, the 5-star from Arlington Bowie, as he absolutely just moles and bowls over people. And he is going to be a straight guard prospect. If you look him on his film, he does mainly play tackle for the Longhorns of Arlington Bowie. So he should keep the logo, he should keep the color, and he should keep on hooking them up. Another guard that I would love to see some headway is going to be Cole Hudson from Frisco area. He's a nationally rated 4-star as well, offensive guard. Mauler needs to develop a little bit more in his pass protection, but look, man, he's a guard. He's a phone booth player, so we are looking for that mean streak. So if we are getting somewhat close to making headway with an offensive lineman, it's going to be the state champ from Westlake, Austin Westlake Hills, Connor Robertson. He's going to be the 6'4", right around 304 guard. He is nationally rated as a 3-star, right around 746 by the 247 Sports Composite, but he's probably the closest to an offensive line lean, let's say, that Texas does have at this point. Talking about Connor Robertson, so Hudson is from Frisco. All right. Is there any chance on Ewers? I guess I'll make my what I have to say on Ewers. All right. So on Quinn Ewers, and this is just what someone. This was just someone a screenshot that I saw on social media, and someone else brought it up earlier, and they said the same thing. And I believe that what you might be alluding to earlier, but some gentleman on social media did a screenshot basically saying that he works with Quinn Ewers' dad, and that since the fact that Malik Murphy is rumored to be set to commit soon, that this would go ahead and put the pressure on Quinn Ewers, and that the fact that to go ahead and commit. So the rumor is that this gentleman is going stating that Quinn Ewers will decommit from the Bucks, from the Ohio State Buckeyes, and commit to the Texas Longhorns by this weekend. That is what the screenshot says. If you guys want to go out on your social media yourselves, look it up, check it out yourselves, you more than can. But as far as what I'm saying about Quinn Ewers, I'm not making any more Quinn Ewers videos. I'm not hyping up Quinn Ewers to Texas, me personally. Ever since he put out his new screenshot, his new photo of him of the Bucks hat on the deer, that was a very respectable and quiet message for way of him saying that, hey man, I'm committed to the Ohio State Buckeyes. Please back up. I don't want to field any kind of sort of social media nonsense from the likes of anyone. So I quit talking about Quinn Ewers. Whenever it's brought up to me, I will say my piece, and that's pretty much my piece. I have always said that it would come a time that once Sark starts speaking, that he will start listening. When that time is, I don't know. I don't know if it was going to have to be a on the field push come to sub. Whenever he's like, hey, I'm liking this offense. I'm liking what Sark's doing. These wide receivers look good. I believe they will get the offensive linemen to protect me because I am a pro-style quarterback. I need those guards. I need those war daddies chasing me around. Yeah, I'm a good athlete. I can scramble around a little bit, but I'm not a dual threat guy by any means. Talking about Quinn Ewers, so he would need those offensive linemen, and I believe that a good on-field production, a good on-field showing would convince him. So if it would come sooner rather than later, if it would come sooner, it was most definitely going to be with this push by the Malik Murphy commitment. But that is what I'm talking about. Does that answer your question on Quinn Ewers? Does that sum that up? But if you are new here, and if you are here right now, I'd appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, as that does help with the algorithm. And if you're new to the Eyes on Texas channel, and this is your first time in this live stream, subscribe to the channel, man. I do put out content all the time. So let's go right back into it. Dewberry, yep, he's going to be one of those offensive linemen that we need on as well as I did Cam Dewberry as well. We need hinted on him as offensive line this class of 2022. He's going to be in the top tier that we need to get. I want 6 offensive linemen. I would want this year. I want the big names. This past year, I was all right with the more projects, the more guys that you're going to have to develop. But this year, with the staff, with the rainmakers on the recruiting, with Kyle Banks have so much respect in this community, the coaching community, the college football community, and having that press coming from University of Alabama, as well as Coach Sark coming from that great offense of showing this whole entire year. I believe that it will translate on the field, and it will translate with recruits in this cycle. I jumped in late, but have you already mentioned this? Bud, are you chancing news? I already said that. Sorry, what position does Brian Allen's little brother play? I heard he's pretty good. The Brian Allen, is he safety or it's about Brian Allen Jr.? I believe you're talking about the safety prospect from Alito there. He's just recently decommitted from the University of LSU, and Texas new staff did offer him whenever he did decommit, but the other safety from LSU seems to be trending just a little bit more to the University of Texas right now. And of course, I'm talking about Bryce Anderson. So yeah. So we're talking about safeties that we're looking at right now. We're talking about Jalen Hullaby, and we're talking about the previously mentioned Bryce Anderson. Yep. So Landon Hullaby and Anderson are probably the primetime safety prospects that Texas has on the board right now. Yes, cannot miss on Campbell. He is very athletic and nasty. He is, man. He just rags all people. So if you want to see some film, so whenever I tell people, have you seen this guy's high school film? Have you seen this person's high school film? I start with DJ Campbell. To me, out of all the guys that I made videos about, all the film that I saw, I didn't see anybody that just straight out over athleticized, big brothered, pushed around, bullied, dominated everyone like DJ Campbell. His junior season, he did get a little bit more as far as weight. He does need to slim that down just a little bit more, but he's an absolute beast. He's an absolute monster. As soon as he gets in a strength and conditioning program, gets a good diet, gets an actually more structure to his life and lifestyle, he will be a big time candidate and a prospect for us. Love what I'm seeing from DJ Candles. Keep the questions coming, guys, as I would absolutely love to keep on fielding them. There is 29 of us in here. Give some thumbs up. I'd very much appreciate that. Yep. If we get all the wide receiving, the O-line, it would help the case. Yep, one does kind of sort of help leads the other, just like if you help get the offensive lineman, you get the quarterback because the quarterback wants to be protective, and you get the offensive lineman, he wants to have his way paved for the running backs. So one does lead to the other, i.e. just like an offense, running the ball helps set up the pass, or sometimes the pass will help set up the run. So one will most definitely lead to the other. Malik may commit this weekend is the rumors. That is what I've been talking about. Garin, have you subscribed yet, Garin? Because I haven't seen you yet in the comment. Lots of new people up in here today. Garrett, I'm sorry, buddy. I know I'm butchering and badgering your name, which I do very often. Welcome to the Eyes on Texas channel. So all y'all new folks, very much appreciate y'all in here. Keep the questions coming. Malik Murphy is set to commit on the Eyes on Texas channel. Set to visit Texas and might possibly make a commitment here coming up soon. It might be shutting it down. And the main reason for this dominoes, I'll go ahead and re-say it again for all the people that are just coming in. Coming up on the 17th, the body that may be, I'll just go ahead and read it right quick. This is going to be a report coming article from 247 Sports. Report surfaced earlier today that the Division I Football Oversight Committee recommended to the NCAA to extend the recruiting dead period through May 31st. The Division I Council will decide on the recommendation at the February 17th meeting. So what's going to happen on that meeting is they're going to decide whether to extend the dead period or end the dead period for recruiting. What the dead period really is it's on-campus, official on-campus visits for the Texas Longhorns. I'm sorry, for college football in general for every single university. So what that means is, i.e., there is no official visits. Recruits can't go onto the campuses with official members of the staff. They can't go on the field. They can't go to the weight room. They can't see any of the facilities, anything like that. What you can do is you can make these unofficial visits, and you can make your own unofficial visits with your family, with your 7-on-7 coach, which is rumored today that Malik Murphy is set to do. So what's going to happen, in my personal opinion, is there are several recruits that are on the fence whether to commit now or wait based on this result. So if it is extended through May 31st, I do feel that we will see a domino of recruits, and I'll let you know who those recruits are here in just one moment. If it does not extend, we might not see that domino fall so quickly. But without a doubt, if Malik Murphy is going to be one of those dominoes, is he is going to be scheduled to go to an on-campus unofficial visit. Another one, without a doubt, is going to be top-rated wide receiver in the 2022 class. Let me go back to my wide receivers, and they're just kind of sort of all in order for you as well. We have already landed Armani Winfield in the class of 2022, the smooth, long striding 4-star receiver from Louisville. So I'm looking forward to checking him out play, as I do live in the DF-Dub area. So Louisville right close to me. But CJ Williams is going to be one of those dominoes by my estimation. He put up the horn sign on social media, said this several times in the presentation so far. He's shown put up several posts, pro University of Texas posts. So he might be one of those dominoes. Ever since Coach Sarkisian has come into the fold, the recruitment with him has seemed to sped up. He is going to be in modern day, and of course, obviously, West Coast. And if you do not know, his son actually does go to campus on that high school as well, as I do believe as well. So CJ Williams might be one of those dominoes. My number one wide receiver in this class of 2022, I've said it over and over again, Mr. Electricity, Evan Stewart, the Frisco Liberty wide receiver, 6 foot tall, 175 pounds. He's been mentioned in the comment section a couple times as well. Absolute playmaker from this position. And really what I love about Evan most of all, what I do love about him most of all, is going to be his ability to come in that as the official Z position. He fits the Z position naturally, can play on the outside, get open on the outside with his own ability, but he fits in very well with Sark's offense from that Z position. I do believe that we will get him the ball early and often, and I love Coach Evan Stewart here on the 40. I'm just letting everybody know I am going to go till 1 p.m. today. So if you do, get your questions in, man, because I'm going through 1 p.m. today as I got something on the books that I have to do personally in my life. So Ben Riza, I do see you in there. Ben is going to be a long-time friend of the program, long-time friend of the show. Holla at you, boy. Ben, if you don't know who Ben Riza is. He does head up Texas Longhorns sports and recruiting news. So go ahead and check him out on a social media. Give him a like and a follow on Twitter. Ben is a good guy. Definitely on the offensive line side of the ball, Ben's got lots of knowledge on that. If you're looking for good insight on offensive lineman recruits, without a doubt. Go to Ben Riza. If you see him in the comment section, he's obviously going to be a good person to talk to about that as well. But I do hear you. If Malik commits, is it done deal for Ewers? So the rumor is with Ewers is, let's just go ahead and say it again. Someone did put out on social media that he works with his dad, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Long story short, let's speed it up, that he was told by Quinn Ewers' father that he will decommit from the Buckeyes and commit to the University of Texas over the weekend. That's the rumor. 100% rumor. That is not what I'm saying, as I'm respecting his post, the fact that he put on his Twitter, changing his Twitter emoji to himself and putting up the Ohio State Buckeyes hat along with on the deer. But yeah, for those of you who are new, because there are 27 of us now, would you please tell everybody about the Eyes on Texas channel, guys? I work very hard for you guys. Like I say, I got a wife, a life. I got 3 kids, a wife, and a life. You know, that's what I say. I try to produce positive feedback about college football and Texas Longhorns for you guys. So please drop a like and subscribe to the channel as well, and give a thumbs up, as that does help out with the algorithm. So I did state earlier, I will go to right around 1 p.m., which is just like 7 minutes from now. Kevin Coleman said something just got on here. You might have said, I haven't said much about Kevin Coleman, man. So Ben, what you got to say about Kevin Coleman? Please say it. All I know about Kevin Coleman is that we're in his top 6. So if you want to say something about Kevin Coleman, go ahead, Ben. If the stadium is open, they can. So they can go in the stadium, but they can't really be guided by someone. I just know, like with these on-campus visits, they've kind of sort of shut them down a little bit more, tweak them a little bit more, because what a lot of people were doing is they were making more official than unofficial, like saying, oh, my friend, my cousin, he plays on the football team, and he's just escorting me through the weight room. He's just escorting me through the facilities. You know, so that was a bit of a backdoor loophole that the NCAA has shut down a little bit. So Wayne is saying that Malik has saying that that Coleman wants to play with Malik, and that's the thing with these big time major recruits, man. They do attract each other, and not only do they attract each other, is the pinnacle, the linchpin is the quarterback position. Just look at the college draft. I looked at Mick Shea's draft, and I think the 4 quarterbacks are a pick to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Of course, Trevor Lawrence is judged to be going number 1. Of course, Zach Wilson, the BYU quarterback, number 2. However you have 2, 3, 4 is going to be up to you without a doubt. Stewart and Thompson equals Smith and Waddle. Yeah, see, that's what we need, is that these guys are seeing it with Coach Sark. They are seeing the fact, they are seeing the translation, and they are wanting to play with him. That's going to be they're going to be coached by him and play in that offense. That is 100% going to be the Sark effect. I agree 100%. 100%. Oh, Ben, you're welcome, man. You've always been good to me, Ben, so holla at your boy, man. Someone else who's also been really good to me on the Eyes on Texas channel is also going to be Texas Homer. If any of y'all know that guy, know that individual as well, go ahead and give him a follow. Subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. He does have a good following on Twitter as well. Twitter is the only is the only social thing that I really follow. I've talked with Ben in the past, and he knows about my lack of ability on the social media side. But the big time thing, the major things that we need to focus on from this from this cast today is that Travell Johnson is set to commit today at 5 p.m. The inside linebacker from Arlington Martin. He was the lead tackler for, I believe they're called the Warriors, but whatever, for Arlington Martin this past year, and that's going to be playing alongside with 4-star outside linebacker signee of the Texas Longhorns, Maurice Blackwell. So the fact that Maurice Blackwell and Travell Johnson have already played together, love it. The fact that they had that connection, and the fact that he has already leaned and crystal balled to Texas is favoring that as well. I absolutely love that. Another factor about Travell Johnson, I've mentioned this earlier and often, is his style of ball very much translates into what Texas does, and what the Big 12 does, because who knows what Texas does as we're just getting our coaching staff together. But if you want to play in the Big 12, and if you also wanted to play the Pac, whatever they had, whatever they're calling that thing, the Pac 14, the Pac 12 out there, they also pitch the pill around a lot out there. So that's something that Coach PK, our new defensive coordinator, has seen without a doubt much throughout his time there. So Malik Murphy is the big topic as well. Will he commit this weekend? Will he commit soon? Is the smoke real? Is he a true 5-star quarterback? Not much real film on him as far as varsity in pads and helmets production is concerned on the varsity level. He's going to be a camp 7-on-7 guy mostly, talking about Murphy. But those who are in the know, those who see those things, rate him a 5-star. People do go to these pay sites for a reason. He plays up against the best top-tier talent on these 7-on-7 and in these camps. And in these camps, he shines. So he's playing with these top 4-star and 5-star wide receivers. He's getting them the ball, and they are being defended by these top 4 and 5-star defensive backs. So that's something that does need to be taken into consideration as well. Not just completely disregard someone whenever they don't have any much on varsity film yet. It is a bit alarming. I would love to have as much film as we did saw him as such as we did as Klubnik. I would love to see all that film like we saw in Quinn Ewers and making that big, long playoff push. But you know what? We're not going to see it. California might have some sort of season 4 or 5 game schedule coming up in March or something like that. But whatever that is, that's not a 100% thing. I think that is definitely hurting Murphy without a doubt. Talking wide receivers, that might be a domino in this next couple of week to 4 or 5 days. Might be definitely where we've been talking about him. We've been talking about Coleman. Another wide receiver that might be coming down the pike, obviously, is going to be C.J. Williams with the California connection with Coach Sark as well. My number 1 guy on the board for Evan Stewart as a wide receiver from Frisco Liberty Hill. And when I talk about wide receivers, I do leave one guy off. I do leave what is touted to be the number 1 guy. I leave off Caleb Burton, as he is an Ohio State commit, and he has expressed zero interest. He has been positively posting about the University of Texas, so he's not on my board. So if y'all want me to talk about him, he's not someone that I really do speak about. And we are looking to get possibly some defensive backs. Those are going to be safeties. Bryce Anderson, the recent LSU decommit, is looking like one, and as well as Landon Hullaby. Landon Hullaby, of course, is going to be the brother of Jaden, who did play for the Texas Longhorns. We need the offensive line recruits. We need more offensive line offers. We need more offensive line feedbacks as far as guys that are leaning or trending toward the University of Texas from that position. I wish I had more information for you. I wish I had more positive things to say for you, as regards to that, but it's just not out there. You know what I mean? So whatever it is, and any other quick questions right now before I end this? Again, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, if you've not yet, thumbs up this video. as I try to produce college football content for you every single day of the week. I got something I got to do today, as I got to get showered up and looking pretty and go do my thing. Yeah. So that's what I got going on. Any other questions before I get off? Because I'm really about to. I appreciate everybody staying with me. I appreciate all the love, all the feedback, man. All the comments that I've been getting in all the videos as of recently. If I ever have a delay in making videos, it's like I've had bad computer problems. I got young kids and they destroyed a couple of my computers. Like destroyed my computers. They destroyed my Macs. The screen just absolutely obliterated. So if I do have a gap in making videos, that might be the reason why. But I'm all about the positivity, guys. I'm all about spreading the positivity. I like to say the rising tide floats all boats, and I do believe that, man. So stay positive in your life, stay positive in your community, stay positive in your family, and help somebody out who ever has needed. And it will come back to you 147-fold. I do 100% believe that. As I do say, keep your head in a swivel and your eyes on Texas. It applies to football and it applies to life without a doubt. A lot of people are out for you in this life, and you got to protect yourself. You got to protect your family. You got to protect those that you love. So I'm going to end it on that note. Again, guys, I appreciate everybody in here with me. I appreciate everybody being here with this live stream. Everybody, hopefully we'll get some commits this weekend. 5 o'clock, Travell will be committing on the 40. I'm telling you, holla at you, boy. Keep your head in the swivel and your eyes on Texas. This is AK. I'm out.